Glad to say we've been joined by a recent panel session from three communicator experts working down the line, Hugues Lebray, Curtis Scott and Nicolas Beger, who are running a session on risk communication in times of change. So I know this is one of FERMA and Joe Willett's key themes at the moment. So I guess just comment down the line, what does a crisis in day-to-day mean to you and the other guys? And how would you deal with it?
So a crisis is something that you are not waiting for, that occurs, and you are not prepared for. So you are not prepared for the crisis, but you are prepared to manage this kind of event. So the main issue to manage crisis is to know all your stakeholders and to have been knowing them for a long time and to have well treated them, so to have spoken with the journalists every week on an informal basis, with the financial analysts, with the investors, with people working at universities, with politicians, with everywhere. You just can manage a crisis when you have this relationship that has been settled for a long time.
Okay. And Curtis, I mean, you're at Uber, so that's obviously a new brand and an emerging brand. Does that differ slightly in a business model like yours?
I think it is. I mean, we're a large company, but I think of crisis at the micro level, right? We do 10 million trips every single day, and every one of those has the potential to have something go wrong. Then that is a crisis for that rider or driver, and so we have to be able to react quickly, have people that we trust that are on the front lines who can gather that data, that information. That way we can appropriately respond and take care of it so it doesn't become a crisis.
Kind of, Nicola, I guess, as an educator in communication, with the way the world has changed, with social first, the kind of online community, global community we have, has that changed the way people should be addressing crises?
Yes, and I think you need to differentiate between the risk management, and which is really, at least in the political area that I'm interested in, is a new concern, and crisis management. I think more and more students, for instance, are interested in crisis management. They take political communication and crisis communication as their main topic of studies, and so I think the mindset is changing a little bit. But I'm not sure that at political level or in public communication, institutions, public institutions, really are right now in the mindset that we need. That has evolved, and that has evolved with social media. We discussed this a lot, and so I think there is still a long way, a long path, and a lot of training also that you need to do in order to reach that level of awareness.
Yeah, because have you had to adapt the model, thinking about brand and reputation protection? That the speed of social output will happen in the minutes after the kind of longer form response from press journalists and the like that will come back. Maybe some businesses now put the social first and the others behind. Is that an advocation you would put through? Because I know you were saying very much about keeping those journalists, making sure that you've got them close control, close hand immediately after a crisis.
Yes, but you have to have a direct link with all the people who are very important to manage the crisis. The staff, the customers, so you don't only have to talk with medias or social networks, but also to have a direct communication. And what's very new is that you can get in touch with everyone at every second, even if they are client or not. So you have to focus your communications on the goal you did choose to manage the crisis. The image issues on social networks, media, etc., will come after to rebuild the brand. Yeah. But when you are in the crisis, you focus. I want to keep my customers. I want the empowerment of my employees. You are focused.
Okay. So just kind of wrapping around for you guys, if, as you've got risk managers watching this, if you could give them your one great piece of advice to them about managing in times of crisis. Curtis, would you like to take that one first?
I think when crisis comes on and you're a risk manager, I think the best advice I can have is to try to be calm and try to be objective. I think when you're leading during that type of challenging environment, you're nervous naturally, but you have to take a step back and you have to be calm under fire. Other people around you will panic as well.
Nicola?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you need to work on the emotional level, especially for a political leader. I mean, you will be scrutinized. You will be watched by not only by voters but by the general public in general. So you need to control this. You need to perhaps also to train and to anticipate a little bit, how you will deal with the situation. I mean, you are not a born crisis manager when you are elected as a MP, for instance. But at some point you will face the situation. So I think this is something you can train, and this is where risk assessment is really important also in that area.
Okay, Hugh, just a few words to close.
Yes, communication is very important when you have a crisis. So don't discover communication when you have a crisis. Just do it before.
Plan.
Yeah.
Excellent. Gentlemen, thank you for taking the time out. I do appreciate that. Thank you.